trying to appeal to the kids, the young generation. Yo, what's the deal, Charlie Brown? What's the deal, Charlie?
I don't know what the deal is. You have to ask my partner, Dingo D.
Yo, tell us, D. Tell us, D.
Confusion, G.
Oh, word, what's up? Hey, oh, man. It's just another case of that OPTA. Oh, man. School I wrote notes.
Mac and Free, but our names are not important. And yeah, it sounds like I'm eating my breakfast from earlier this morning. It's my birthday. I don't care what y'all got to think about me today. I'm chewing a little bit, but no. So we're gonna talk about the PTA right now because when you look at what's going on down in Florida, they talk about sending these kids back to school, and I don't have to go on the long monologue for this one. Some of the parents think it's a little too early, and I'm one of them. But my kids aren't going back to school because my school's already called it, so not particularly worried about it. But Free, I gotta ask you, man, are the ones that are pushing the kids back to school, is it too early?
I think it is. It's way too early because the data they're drawing on is that the low numbers of children that get it and the low numbers of them being affected by it. But you still have adults in the building who might be more vulnerable or just as vulnerable as those youth. You have families that those youth come home to. So whether or not we don't see the data that says they're being highly affected by it and they don't pass it as much, there's still data that says they can pass it. There's still data that says they can contract it. Mm-hmm. So until this thing is minimized, I think it's way too soon. And then I'm going to come for all y'all that tried to hate on Roy Cooper. Go ahead, though.
Leave Roy alone. I'm going to let you get on him because I have to ask this question. I wonder, here's the thing. Like, people keep looking at numbers, and again, you know how I am about numbers and statistics and so on and so forth. You have to look at everything. If you're going to substantiate your claim with a statistic, you got to look at all the statistics, not just the ones that tout your narrative. What's the age of people where it could be dangerous? You would say probably in the upper 40s, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, older people, elder people. Mm-hmm. But some of the main carriers. So I did this the other day, and I looked at the statistics. I pulled 5 zip codes in the state of North Carolina. You know what the average age of all the and these are 5 zip codes that had high caseloads of COVID-19 in the state of North Carolina. 5 of them. 3 of them were in Greensboro. 1 was in Raleigh and 1 was in Charlotte. Here's what they had in common. The average age was about 36. You know what the average age for teachers are in the U.S.?
34.
42. So it's in that age range of where the majority of the carriers are being counted right now. It's between those ages.
Well, if you look, and I think it was News 2 that showed the statistic, 76% of the cases or 78% of the cases of those that have it are between 25, I think it was 25 and 39, or I think they showed it. But they're not the highest group with deaths, obviously. No. It's those that are, I think it was 65 and older they had, or 72 and older. I forgot the specific age, which that group had the highest percentage of deaths to it. But like you said, the primary group that is being tested positive for this virus are those between 25 and 39, and it may have been even higher. It might have been 25 to 49. So yeah, it was 25 to 49. So like you said, you still have a high risk group that's teaching in the buildings, if you go on average. Mm-hmm. That's making other teachers as well as students susceptible to the possibility of contracting this virus. So it's way too soon, especially when your numbers continue to go up like they are in North Carolina. It is way too soon.
Oh yeah.
It's way too soon.
And for people, see, here's the thing. This is what our ultimate problem is in the South with the education system. Because I remember growing up, and I would run into people who were like from New York, Connecticut, blah, all these places where most of the Ivy League schools are, by the way. And they would say stuff like, "Man, people in the South are slow." And I used to, it used to irritate me a little bit. Like, oh, we smart too. But then you look at what happened. In March, 4 states that had the highest case loads of COVID-19, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. You know what they did in March? They all shut down completely. You know what happened on Fox News in March and April? South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Arizona, Georgia did round robins on Fox News. Hey, we're gonna keep our people free. We're gonna keep our economies going. We're gonna do blah blah blah. I've got to do it that way. I've got to do it that way. That's the way we've got to do it, because that's how they said it. When you watch Fox News, that's how they talk. They said we're gonna stay. We're number one, and you're right. You are number one, because right now all them states are leading in COVID cases. Every single one of them that said we're going to keep it open, we're going to keep it going, and they ran their mouth and ran victory laps on Fox News about how, these states, what you did was you gave credence to the argument that people in the South are stupid. Mm-hmm. Because now you look at, and I just talked to some people I work with that live in that tri-state area of New Jersey, Connecticut, New York. They're on phase 3 of opening back up. And if you look at their COVID numbers, they're almost at 0. But more importantly, as Free Steps away, I don't know what words just happened. I wish I was recording that part. But more importantly than that, their numbers are going down. So we number one have to be able to take a look at that and go, listen, when do we adhere to the preponderance of evidence that's in front of you? We have evidence of 4 states that closed down completely, had the strictest COVID-19 responses, and they're about to open up, and it's July. They're in phase 3. Everything I just named, we're headed back to phase 1. Nobody can even move to phase 2 because nobody wanted to listen when it was time to listen. We have to be able to keep that into consideration. Like that again, it upsets me that, and Free, I know you back, but it upsets me when I see people being able to open that door and lay credence to, you states are not that small. And again, all the Ivy League schools are already in that area as it is. So that was already the argument that they had. But now to be able to hold the argument over our heads that y'all remember COVID-19. Y'all remember how we shut down and we was able to go back to partying and barbecuing and all that in July. Well, guess what y'all had to do in July because you're not as smart as we are. You had to stay in the house in July and August because you didn't do what you were supposed to do in March and April, which are the worst months anyway, because it ain't nothing outside but pollen in the South. In case you guys forgot. And I know that because I spent some time in the springtime in West Virginia, and I was none of that. Like it's beautiful in West Virginia in April. Now, I don't want to be in West Virginia in April. There's no good reason for that. But it's beautiful up there in terms of the weather. But man, you talk about coming down this way in April and in March and April when everybody really should have been like, you know what, this is a good time to stay in the house. Let's do that in March and April so we can come back out in June.
Listen, once again, let me put the disclaimer out there. The views of Mac are those of his own crazy self.
I'm just saying.
But
I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna go with the smart versus intelligent North-South beef. We love the North, they do have some fine institutions. But
that's not me though, Free. That's them. That's what they say.
Oh, that's fine. But you can't. You only answer to what you are. You know what I'm saying? They can call me dumb all they want, but if they ain't affecting what I do and how I provide for my family, let it be.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That we're smarter than that. Is my point. That's the overall point I'm getting to.
But we have fine institutions in the South as well.
Absolutely.
Benedict College being one of those. So shout out to Benedict
University
College.
of North Carolina at Greensboro. Since we calling out alumnus, let's do it. Yeah, one of the great institutions. Absolutely.
But I do wanna say this. The fact that this thing has been drawn more into the political landscape than it has been into the humanity landscape is the main problem of this. I've seen where this has become politicized, which is a travesty, because it should be about keeping people safe. Being safe, doing the best for all. And I think the reason why these southern states have this, because they got caught in this political or politicalization, can't even speak today, going on with this at this time. And I think in that tug of war, now we see where states are paying the price.
Right.
And it's sad because I think we could have toned this down. In North Carolina, and I want to say this, I have total faith in the governor. I think he's done a good job. He caught flack about the school plan, which we need to transition this back. But I just think, there are groups of individuals that just don't have fear. I saw on the national news, on CBS News, they went to Charleston and showed how tourism is down, but they showed a family that traveled there from Michigan or somewhere up north who just said, no, we're not going to wear a mask. We just going to function how we function. The married couple and their child, and they just like, hey, you can catch the flu. You can catch, we just go on that way, which you have that right. But at the same token, you are putting the lives of other individuals in danger. Yes. So at least if you're going to go into public establishments or establishments and be in public places, try to step away from the thought of being selfish, like, nah, I'm not going, and just think about the other people that may be affected by it. That's, it's a tough battle because I think we could be further along than where we are. Yeah. I mean, and even in states that didn't fight it, like North Carolina, I mean, we're still seeing an uprising. So I'm not, but to your point, you had several states that were bucking it and really
and they're at the top of the list right now. And this is what people need to understand, because again, I don't think you're stupid. This is what the Northerners, or Yankees as we call them, this is how they tout it out about. This is what their predisposition is about the South. Is Southerners aren't smart. What I'm saying to you is, I don't think Southerners. I don't think any of us are dumb. That would count. That would include myself. I'm not calling myself dumb for sure. What I'm saying ultimately is this: that we are very stubborn people in the South, and it's shown. And to be stubborn and to go against the grain because you feel like it sometimes just doesn't do the best. We're gonna pick this up after the break, Free. So we'll come right back and talk to y'all.
Let's talk about schools, man.
Right. Mac and Free, we're gonna talk about it.